guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at Fitzgerald Hyundai in Clearwater, Florida, and we have it, the 2020 Palisade. Let's talk a little bit about Hyundai history though, before we just dive into this mid-size three-row SUV. Been around selling cars here in the United States since 1986, the Excel. Things have changed though, and their SUV lineup has really grown so popular and really something for everybody. Now, this is their largest vehicle. This is their mid-size three-row SUV. You can get it three different ways. SE trim, which is this exact vehicle here. That's that entry gateway into the Palisade. SEL, which we've already featured here on Rady's Rides, which is that nice mid-grade. And then, of course, the fully loaded limited trim, which we've also featured here on Rady's Rides. And I'll leave links for those videos at the end of this particular view. But like I always promise you, we are gonna hit up that entry level so you could see what you're getting for the money. But definitely the Palisade sitting on the same exact chassis as the sister brand, the Kia Telluride, and really just like the Telluride is a smash hit in the SUV segment. It's really taken everybody by surprise and really has been a whirlwind because it's hard to keep these just like the Telluride on the lot. I wanna kind of talk Telluride, show some of the similarities, show some of the differences, and see if the Palisade is the right three-row mid-size SUV for you. So let's go ahead, dive into this 2020 SE trim. Right off the bat, you'll notice the unique styling. Even though it's sitting on the same chassis as the Telluride, it has such a distinctive look and some different layout pieces, which we'll get to in a second. I like what Hyundai has done with the dual light setup. You have your daytime running lamp, full LED, is gonna waterfall into the second housing, which actually has your dual beam headlight design setup. Gives it a unique look, so different from anything else in the mid-size segment. Another main competitor to this vehicle, of course, is gonna be the Ford Explorer, which is also redesigned for 2020. You'll notice some venting on the side here. This is functional. It's a side air curtain, very clean. And I think, like I said, my favorite part is that waterfall effect and how it runs all the way through. Even though it's split, runs all the way through. Now, you do have some flat black on the bottom here, but as we come across this fortified grille, brushed aluminum look, the Hyundai logo nice and large. I think it fits the proportions of the front fascia so nicely, and it has the brand identifier, this unique shaped grille. No matter which model you're looking at here at Fitzgerald Hyundai, it's gonna have that basic shape to it. We drop down, there's that flat black that started in the corner, goes all the way across the middle section. We have some horizontal flat black slots, and then you have just a little bit of flat silver, which I think breaks up all the colors very nicely. Now, when we get up onto the hood, you have two major body lines. They're gonna start in the grille and go onto the hood and then curve towards the A-pillars and fade away. Really think it gives it a clean look, but also a very muscular look, because this is a Palisade, a fortified citadel. I really like the way the headlight, well, technically not the headlight, but the light housing kind of curves around, goes into the fender. We drop down. What are we working with wheels? These are the base wheel. This is an 18-inch wheel, bright silver. It's going to be a 245 on the width, 60 series sidewall, which is going to give you a nice ride. You can see how the flat black goes all the way around the fender opening. What I like about the flat black is that it's not too thick. I think it was very smart to keep it slim, and then they added a nice body line to kind of go around the perimeter of that area to give some definition. Because the challenge with these larger SUVs is a lot of them just have like flat sides, and this really has a lot of different elements to it. Now, when we hop back up, we're gonna look at the mirrors. You do have matching mirror caps on the SE trim. I like the brushed aluminum along the top and the bottom. And then it was very smart. Remember that little bit of silver along the front fascia area? They actually brought it along the sill as well. Great look. They could have just left that flat black. Gives it a nice definition. I also love the body line that runs along the bottom portion of the doors, and the nice high belt line gives it great character. Now, there's no roof rails or anything like that on the top, so that's gonna give you nice aerodynamic efficiency, and it also cuts down on wind noise, because sometimes those roof rails, they could whistle just like a little bird. Now, as we work our way back, there is a little bit of gloss black on the extension here, and then a large quarter window, which I like the way they kind of took the trim and just ended it. That gives it nice, unique styling. The quarter window, good size, kind of blends in nice with the gloss black. You have a low roof spoiler. What is that though? It's 2020. This is the Palisade, and you have one of those rubber remote control antennas. Looks like a remote control SUV. I'm gonna zonk that. Should be the shark fin. Even though this is a base model, that should be shark fin. Very, very clean with the Palisade logo. Even though it's emblems, it's not too big and they're not extended too far, so I think it's a nice look. You drop down, what are we looking at? Full LED taillights, just like the headlights up front. I love the design, very unique to the styling. Some flat black, little bit of silver, and then even though this is a base model, you do have 2 exhaust outlets on the back here, which gives it a nice look. But why don't we go ahead, pop the hood and see what's powering this Palisade. All right, guys, we got the hood pop. You have hood struts, no prop rod. Underneath that hood is a simple but tasteful engine cover. What are we looking at underneath that engine cover? We are looking at a 3.8 liter V6. It's the only engine option. No other engines that you have to choose from or study up on. 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds. MPGs, 19 in the city, 26 on the highway. So that is the wonderful thing that I like about the Palisade, is that it's a no-brainer when it comes to what do you need to option. You just need to focus on what trim you want to go with, because they're all going to have the same exact engine setup. The Limited has a little bit more horsepower, but nothing that's super noticeable. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior, because I think that's where the Palisade is going to blow you away. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 Palisade. I know you're at that point. You're like, all right, Joe, I've heard the prices of the SEL. I watched your video, and I thank you for that. I watched the video of the Limited. I thank you for that one too. How much is this one? MSRP is right around $33,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Absolutely love what they've done. The light gray with the dark material is very tasteful, very classy. It's soft at the top of the door panel. You have this nice, almost like a metal textured finish there, which looks really great. Even around the controls for the lock and the windows, nice. You're not gonna get fingerprints. And then down below, you get a place for your Yoo-hoo, couple zingers, maybe a couple little Debbie snacks down there. You're ready to rock and roll. Now, when you get to the dash area, I like the way everything is far forward and it's flat all the way across. Soft material. There's that almost looks like a textured metal look. Soft here as well. And then you have the silver, which runs into the AC controls. You're gonna have an 8-inch infotainment system screen. I'm sure you wanna see it illuminated. Well, let me show you first that here is your key fob for the SE trim. So SE trim does not have push button start, but you do have your keyless entry. And then to start her up, you're gonna have to get the switch blade out, put it in the ignition. That's how we used to do it back in the old days. Everything comes to life. I confirm. There's our 8-inch screen. Touch screen, of course. I actually like this. Don't think that this sticks out and it just looks so out of place. It looks very flush and it does not look iPad style whatsoever. This is that 8-inch screen. Remember, you go optional, you could go up to a 10.25-inch screen. You have the swipe features, which is really nice. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, quiet mode, which is nice. If your kids are sleeping in the back, you don't want to wake them up with the stereo and whatnot. You got access to the rear climate controls, which is great as well. Everything is easy and just makes sense on how it's set up. There's more of that nice material. You have, like I said, the silver controls, silver around the AC vents, which is nice. AC controls are just going to be your standard. Just, you have your blower fan switch, you have your temperature switch over here, and then the other buttons for recirculating. You do have a drive mode selector. Now, it's interesting. You have a drive mode selector knob. Look at how much it wobbles. This is a Zong for me. It feels very, very cheap. I wish they would have done something a little different, but when you come to the driver's side, I'll show you what that does. Here's your push button transmission for your 8-speed. There's more of that silver trim, which I'm really digging. What's great about this is that it doesn't cause glare, but yet it's just better than flat black. Look what this says, push. Let's push it and see what happens. Slides back nicely. You have a USB in here. Plenty of room for all sorts of candy. You could line up your circus peanuts. Watch this. It says push again. Boom, boom. You got your 2 cup holders there. If you don't want the cup holder there and you want more room, there you go. Clicks away. Now you can maximize your candy setup in there. We pull this back and it's nice. Hard armrest, but I like the stitch work. We push the button. Look at this. First of all, we got a receipt in here. I don't know what that's for, but nice little party tray. Fill it up with peanut M&Ms, Skittles, whatever you're. Don't mix them though. Somebody said, should I mix my M&Ms and Skittles? No, that's disgusting. Inside here, we have a 12 volt and a USB and some felt lining in the bottom. Plus, you could probably fit, I would think, a box of Twinkies in there without a problem, even with the tray in there, which you would think it would be impossible, but it works. We'll put this receipt back, close it up. Seats, I like the design. They're cloth in the center, darker cloth on the sides, and like I said, they don't look too funky. Sometimes when you go with cloth seats, they like to do like some type of 1995 design. These are clean, they look classy. They're manual for both the passenger and the driver. Plenty of headroom, which is wonderful. Even in the SE trim, you're gonna get an auto dimming mirror, which is nice. The only zonk is it's not a frameless, but at this price point, I don't think I could zonk too hard on that mirror. But why don't you get over to the business side? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Palisade. All right, guys, business time on the driver's side. Like I said, manual controls. The good news is they're easy to use and it's fast to get it to fit your body. Steering wheel is a great size, great thickness. I wish even at SE trim, they'd at least give you some leatherette material. This rubber material just feels like a rental car, but it's a great looking steering wheel, attractive horn button. You got the flat black buttons, thumb controls, dash, clear and concise. It's all backlit LED, tach, speedometer, fuel gauge, cooling gauge, and then you have that nice information display. Look at that. You have your lane keep assist, you have your blind spot monitoring. Those are nice features to have even at this price point. Of course, if you go higher up the food chain, that could easily become an over 12-inch TFT display, which I highly recommend. But I'm trying to show you what it is to get into the door of a Palisade. $33,000, you're getting a lot for the money. Let's check out the mid-row and see how your passengers are gonna like riding in the Palisade. All right, guys, rear seat time. On the door panels, you actually have 2 cup holders up top and 1 in the pocket, which is a really nice touch. That's gonna make sure that none of your passengers are gonna die of dehydration, so you don't have to go to the hospital. You can keep on your journey. Plenty of space back here. I'm swimming in space. Now, they do have the plastic on the back, which I know people that have kids like that. For some reason, they give you a leatherette little pocket. I'd rather them not even have a pocket and take this leatherette and put it on the steering wheel. Here's the best news. Even SE trim has 2 USBs on the backs of the seats. Think about how smart that is. You plug in your device, you want it to charge, you just put it right in the pocket, or you can hold on to it, whatever you choose. You have your controls for your rear AC. They even give you a 12 volt at the SE trim. We've been in vehicles way more expensive than this one, and they don't even give you 2 cans and a string. So it's nice to at least have that. You have your AC vents in the ceiling. Seats, nice and comfortable. Like I said, room. You want more room? They recline, and look how far back they recline. They don't just recline a little, they recline a lot. You can have it come back up, and then they slide back and forth, which is great. Also, an armrest in the base trim. It's as hard as that one, but you know what? It's nice to have a place to rest your arm. 2 cup holders, flip it back. Let's go ahead, check out the 3rd row and see how usable this Palisade is. All right, guys, here's where you're just gonna really see the usability of this. Now, so many other 3-row SUVs claim, oh, you could put a 7-foot person back there. Shaquille O'Neal could sit in the back. Well, guess what? With the Palisade, maybe Shaquille O'Neal can't fit in the back, but Joe Rady from Rady's Rides can, and I'm actually gonna be very comfortable. So it's real easy. You hit the button, slides nicely out of the way. You actually have 2 landing pads for your feet or your kids' feet so they don't rip up the carpet. And if you're ready, I'm ready. It's real simple. You just go ahead and climb right in. And the great news is that your knees are not in your mouth, which is really great. These seats could actually go back a little bit further, which is nice. The way you do that is you're gonna pull this tab right here, and that's gonna allow it to just kind of go back a little bit more, but really plenty of room. I got 2 cup holders. The SE trim doesn't have USB, but if you go higher up the food chain, just like the beautiful TFT display, you could get USB back here. I do have air vents for the AC, which is nice. Let's go ahead and pull the seat back. Not even, look at this. Not even a worry in my mind about being uncomfortable. So this is really nice sitting in the 3rd row. Let's check out the cargo space and see what it's like in the Palisade. All right, guys, time to check out the usability of the Palisade. So we open up, it's not electric assist, but you have plenty of space, even with the 3rd row up, which is awesome. That's what makes it so great. Now you're looking at 18 cubic feet of space with the 3rd row up. You fold the 3rd row down, it goes up to 46 cubic feet. You fold down that middle row, you're looking at 86 cubic feet of space. What's underneath door number 1? You do have your security shade, but you can take this out and fill this up with Twinkies. You could just have a cornucopia of Twinkies. Just give them away to people as you're driving down the road. With the seats up, how do we get the seats down? Real simple. We're just gonna pull. Look at how that goes down. Boom. Ready for the next one? Boom. You don't need any fancy buttons. You don't need anything else. Nice and flat. You do have a 12 volt over here on the driver's side. In the back, you have a 12 volt for that camping trip. Maybe you're at the beach. And then watch this. Come on. Obviously that one, I'm gonna prove a point. We're not gonna stop filming. I'm gonna prove a point that seat goes down flat. There you go. So as you can see, you get kicked out, your wife's upset, get an air mattress, you can live out of the back of your Palisade with 86 cubic feet of space. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the best part. It's not about getting kicked out and sleeping in the Palisade. Let's take it for a spin and see how it drives. All right, guys, we're leaving Fitzgerald Hyundai. We're in the 2020 Palisade. I do have it in sport mode, and right away, you feel secure, you feel comfortable in this vehicle. Let me go ahead and get on throttle. The 8-speed drops down. You can hear the lane keep assist as I got close to the white line there, so it does have those nice safety features. Very, very smooth. It's just the armrests are a little on the harder side, which is, you know, a little uncomfortable, but overall the armrests are in a great height, which is wonderful, and visibility is king in here. Even out the back window, the visibility is super clear. The headrests aren't even in the way. Nice size side mirrors, and even the windshield, you know, because the dash is nice and flat, it gives you a great line of sight out the front, over the hood. Super smooth, super quiet, which is wonderful. The distance to get to the infotainment system is a no-brainer. It's real easy. And what's wonderful is that, like I said, you have that Apple CarPlay, the Android Auto. You're not paying extra for that. You can just have it standard, just like on this car. My Zonk, the biggest one is the drive mode selector. Is just, it's so wobbly and cheap. I don't like that. And I think something needs to be done, because overall, every other button, every other switch has a nice feel and touch to it. So I don't know why that drive mode selector knob is so loose. And it's not just this one. The other two that I've been in, that we reviewed here on Rady's Rides, has the same exact story. But even in traffic here, the seats are comfortable, they're supportive. And I just like how quiet it is in here. That's the wonderful thing. All right, guys, let's do another acceleration test in sport mode on throttle. Plenty of pep, smooth shifts on the transmission, and the engine is not noisy or buzzy whatsoever. This one is front wheel drive. Of course, you can get it optional with all wheel drive as you work up that trim level. But even at SE trim, they did a great job with not making it feel cheap in here. That's the great thing. It's like, it's not like, oh, you gotta go limited to really experience the Palisade in the right way. You're getting all the great things that the Palisade is, just at a cheaper, lower price point. Now, steering wheel, I'm still zonking it. leatherette material at least. You do have paddles though on the back of the steering wheel. That's something different than on the Telluride, where you could shift up and down the 8-speed automatic transmission. But pulling out onto this road, I mean, a little bit of tire spin, that's the kind of pep this thing has. It's no slouch for a mid-size SUV. And I think I like the idea of just having one engine, one transmission option. That cuts down on all the mystery on which way you should go. You can just focus on the price of those different trim levels on what's gonna suit you best. Gauges are real clear, easy to understand, even at a glance. And you just feel really like you're in a more expensive car. I mean, that's really what it has come down to, that you're getting so much in this Palisade. But hopefully this gives you a nice overall feel and view of what this SUV is about and why it's selling so well. We're gonna wrap this one up. I'll see you back at Fitzgerald Hyundai in a few seconds. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day here at Fitzgerald Hyundai. Definitely gotta thank Rob, Dave, and the rest of the crew getting us access to this Palisade. Is it a top competitor in that 3-row mid-size SUV segment? Of course it is. They're having a hard enough time keeping them on the lot. Lots of competition though. Ford Explorer, Chevrolet Traverse, and of course the sister brand, the Kia Telluride. Which one should you go with is really up to you. This is one of the top 2 when it comes to my favorites. Guess what the other one is? Yeah, the Kia Telluride. So definitely get out, make your choice, get behind the wheel one of these, because I'm telling you it's gonna surprise you. If it's large SUVs, as the sirens are going off, the Radies Ride sirens are going off. If it's SUVs like these that you want to see on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Ride family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Radies Ride merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee. Chomping on that gum. He's got some big league chews, so he's a happy camper. I know he likes to Telluride over this Palisade, so we're gonna go ahead and review one of those right after this. But thank you, Tom, for your hard work, and just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.